All right. Back with another SuperCoach episode.
We are.
I'm
going to throw the hat on.
going to throw the hat on, are you?
Get the baggie on.
Now, exciting times. Round one, or part of round one.
Yep.
Team lists have dropped. So, a few interesting selections.
Yep.
So what we'll go over this episode, I'll just go through the changes in the teams, what's kind of shocked me, some new
names.
cheapies that have emerged, and then I'll just run through my team, how I've got it at the moment. It's no doubt going to change another 9,000 times.
Yeah. Yep. 100%.
But let's get onto it, eh?
Let's do it.
So, team lists. Roosters and Broncos. Actually, we'll start with the...
Start with the first.
Start with the first one. That's probably the best way to go, isn't it?
Yep.
Manly and Rabbitohs. Tom Trbojevic at fullback for the Manly Sea Eagles.
Yep.
Saab Cooler at centre with Garrick. It was talked about in the preseason that was going to happen, having Garrick at centre. I'm not a big fan of it.
Yeah. I don't think
I
he gets
like
as
him
much
on the wing.
I don't think he gets as much involvement.
Yeah.
As much touches.
Not as much tries either.
He can't scoot as much either.
Yeah.
He was big on the old scoot from dummy half or first receiver sort of stuff.
Yeah. Jackson Paulo on the wing is an interesting one.
Yeah, Brad Parker falls out of favour.
Yeah.
I'm sort of surprised by that. I thought he was a fan favourite.
No, clearly
Coach
not.
favourite.
Clearly not.
Seabold hates his guts.
Yeah, must do. But Jackson Paulo, I don't know how much he is.
Could he be someone to look at early?
No. He's 476k.
What the fuck?
So no. He's just the only thing that I like about him is on that left edge with Tom Trbojevic. Like we know a couple of years ago, Tom Trbojevic was just feeding Garrick tries for fun.
Yeah, as a piss take.
So they do like that side. They like going there. I mean, he's probably going to score a lot of tries. He doesn't have the goal kicking that Garrick did back then, so he's not going to score as many points, that is.
Is Garrick still going to goal kick?
Garrick will goal kick
You
still,
think so? Yeah. He's at 700,000.
Yeah, he's
no
expensive.
Now that he's been moved out of
If he was on the wing, I could get around it, but not
100%.
at centre.
People used to do the old Asako Garrick combo.
Yeah.
Because you knew they were going to get a lot of meterage, a lot of kicks, a lot of tries. So
yeah, that's it. And then both similar, like goal kicking wingers with high scoring potential.
Yeah.
But yeah, I wouldn't go him at centre. Luke Brooks is an interesting one. A lot of people are kind of going around him. I don't hate it. He's a lot cheaper. He's 560k, so he's still fairly expensive. But if you're looking for an option that's cheaper and you're trying to save money somewhere with maybe a Dylan Brown and put him at 5'8" instead, I don't hate it.
You could.
I think he's going to make a little bit of money. He's going to improve a fair bit, I think, on how he did for the Tigers, just because I think there's more points.
And now he's
going to be scored. He's going to get more assists.
Playing beside DCE makes things a lot easier for anyone. Yeah. You could be anyone.
Yeah.
So
yeah, he looks happy. I talked about that in our
he's smiling.
Other podcast.
He's got a barbecue from the Tigers.
Yeah. He looks like he's enjoying his time at the Sea Eagles. So if he's happy, he's going to play better.
It's good.
I just think there's better options than him. I think he's going to get you maybe 55, 60 points around, which is good, but I think there's just better options. If you try and save money and you're desperate to save money, you could go him, but no.
Yeah, look elsewhere.
I wouldn't be going him.
I'm
personally,
not personally,
but I can see merit in it.
You can see why people are doing it.
Yeah.
You understand why. You can make them some money.
Yeah. Olakuatu.
He's an expensive one.
He's expensive.
Strike.
Well, that's it. You kind of know what you're going to get from him. He's similar to that kick-out kind of player where he doesn't quite have the most attack, most base, so he's not going to get you 60 points every week. He might get you 40 points, but then he'll get you a game where he scores 2 tries.
It's scary to think if he ever gets that mentality when he wants to run it.
Yeah.
it could be a dangerous time.
Yeah. We also got the second rower. Now, I didn't talk him up much at all last week because I didn't think he'd get a spot. But Ben Travojevic.
He's in. And I think he's in 95% of teams.
Rocketed his way into, just about everyone's team, I reckon.
Yeah, he'd be in a massive chunk.
Starting second row. The only issue they've got is Schuster's injured. He may be back next week. And then does he get the second row spot?
Does Ben then maybe move to centre if the Paulo experience isn't loved?
Could do, or does he just get a spot on the bench? I think worst case scenario is he finds his way on the bench. But it's so hard, like Schuster with his calf injuries. He had a calf injury last year.
Calves are hard. They just pop.
He had one last year and he was meant to come back, I think, similar time. I think it was pre-season and he was meant to be good for round 1. I don't think he ended up coming back till round 5 or 6.
Yeah. The calves are always tricky.
They're hard to get right.
Yeah, massively.
I would not go... Yeah, I would not be surprised if he misses the first 5 or 6 rounds, and there's nothing to say that Ben Travojevic doesn't
do well,
score really well, or play really well, I should say, and really lock down that spot.
Yeah, 100%.
So he did really well in the trials. I think he scored.
He's got that big body.
I think he scored 3 tries.
He got 3 tries in the game.
So he's it's
that big body. He's got that big body, so he's very versatile.
Yeah,
Kurt Manish, like.
And he's got his brothers around him, you know that. So
they're going to hold him accountable.
He's cheap. You're not gonna miss out here. Worst case, he goes back to playing on the bench after round 2. He makes you a little bit of money, and then you got to get rid of him. But I can see him, and he's got the potential to score you decent points too.
He does.
Like he can average probably 50, 60 points if he's starting second row.
Well, if he does that, he'd go up in price.
Yeah,
easily.
Yeah, absolutely. Nathan Brown, he snuck his way onto the bench.
He has.
He's cheap-ish, but I just don't think he's going to get the minutes. He's 340k. I can't see him playing any more than 20 minutes. Yeah. He might get you 30, 35 points. That's about it. So,
bit of a risky one.
Yeah, I wouldn't be going him unless he can find his way into the starting team.
Yeah, constantly.
But I can't see a way where...
Yeah.
If he does, it'd be a prop.
It'll be injury. It'll be...
Yeah.
Troops are down.
Yeah. Let's go on to Souths.
Souths are pretty strong.
Yeah.
As they,
on the wing, Jacob Gagai.
Brother
of Dane Gagai.
Where is Dane?
He's somewhere. He's in Newcastle.
Yeah.
Doing stuff.
He's chilling.
Yeah. I can't see him playing beyond this week because they've got Wyden to come back, and I think they're going to push either Tass or Richard Kenner onto the wing, and Wyden will go into centre.
I think Tass will hold his spot. Like it'll be Kenner that misses. Is that what you mean?
No, I think Gagai will drop out.
Oh,
so I think Tass or Kenner will go onto the wing.
Yep.
And then I think Wyden will go into the centres.
Yep.
So I can't see Gagai playing too many weeks.
Yeah.
You've got to play 3 weeks to make money. So the players won't increase in value until after they play their 3rd game.
3rd game, yep.
So I wouldn't go in. Look, if things play out a certain way and there's injuries maybe, he can play 3 games, then get him then.
Yep.
But I don't think it's worth starting with him. Because there's a few other better options that you can start with.
There's better options out there.
I wouldn't waste a spot on him personally.
Yep.
But I can see why people get excited. They see, someone at 200k. On a really strong back line in the South Sydney Rabbitohs. But just when you think about more in depth and you think about who they've got coming back, then it's
risky.
Yeah,
very risky.
Totola. He's cheap enough, starting front row. Again, I can't see him doing much. Like, he's not going to set the world on fire. He might get you 40 points, make a little bit of money. Same with Kepi. I put them both really in the same boat.
Yeah.
Nothing too special. They're not going to get you 60 points a game and be a keeper, and they're not going to make enough money really to be worth it because they are quite expensive. It's not like they're 200K. I think they're about 350. Let me just check. Like Kepi, 380. So it's not cheap enough to make it worth it for me.
Yeah.
But look, there's a chance that they start really well, get increased minutes, and make a bit of money. But yeah, I think there's better options than those two.
Yep.
Damien Cook at hooker.
You spoke about it last week.
I think he's
a good year,
and I like the fact that they have named Havili on the bench instead of Mamazoulis.
Yeah.
That to me kind of almost guarantees him 80 minutes.
100%.
If it wasn't already, I think, yeah.
Now it's guaranteed.
So
and Havili's a bigger body, as you said, smaller field.
Yeah.
You think he's going a bit more defensive.
Yeah.
Havili has upside. Nothing against his attacking upside, but that bigger body in the middle.
Yeah, that's
at some point.
Yeah. And they don't have Tallis Duncan as well, who was kind of going to be that.
Yeah, well,
which I'm surprised by.
I saw that and I was surprised.
Yeah,
as you were,
because there was a lot of talk about him in the preseason, potentially getting a second row spot.
Yeah,
but now he's not even on the bench. So,
David Mulway. Is that I'm sorry if I butchered that. He's in my team.
He is.
I was impressed with how he played last year.
He was good.
And he's quite cheap.
He's good. He's quite cheap.
The NRL fan in me loves what he does.
I just don't know about minutes. He might only play 20 minutes and get 30
issue.
points.
So that's what I'm going to see after, I'll assess after the first three and see what happens.
And again, there's a few decent, cheaper second row options at the moment.
Yeah.
At front row forwards. So, I won't be going him, but look, if he can get increased minutes, he's a good shout.
Yep.
I just don't know if he will.
You don't see it.
I would like to see the first couple of weeks to see how the bench works, how many minutes he's got, and then if he's going to play 40, 50 minutes, for sure I'll bring him in. But yeah, he's just a wait and see for me. Jai Arrow at starting second row. That's pricked my ears, Jai Arrow.
You're up and about.
I like, because he's front row, second row, so you can get him at the front row. And he's the kind of guy that can get you 55 points consistently. If he's going to play big minutes.
He's a goer. He goes.
Again, it's just that bench rotation. I don't know whether Jacob Host on the bench, he's a second rower. So I don't know whether he gets spelled for him.
Surely if he's starting at the 12, you think he'd be
the other option is Host comes on and then Murray goes off and Jai Arrow shifts to lock. If that's the case, I would be very excited about Jai Arrow.
Okay.
I just don't know at the moment. He's not in my team at the moment, but I'm looking very closely at him and trying to find a way. If I was to get him, I'd get him at front row.
Yeah. Okay.
There's just a lot of things that we don't know yet.
Yeah.
Like with minutes and the rotation and how they're going to use their bench. So you've got to take some risks. You've got to kind of guess how you think they're going to use. And then if you're right, then it's great. You save yourself a trade.
Happy days, yeah.
If you're wrong, it's just going to cost you a trade. So it's not the end of the world. As I said, prices don't change. So there's no real benefit apart from saving a trade to getting on early. Like if you go Jai Arrow and he gets 80 points playing 80 minutes, you're going to jump on him the next week.
Yeah, you got 2 weeks to jump on.
And you're not going to lose any money. You're going to lose those 80 points that you would have got, and you're going to lose a trade. So it's not the end of the world if you miss out on players in the first couple of weeks. Obviously, you only have two trades, 3 trades if you use a boost each week. But there's as long as you have the majority of the players that you need, it's not the end of the world if you miss a couple of the good ones that stand out. Because you're not going to be able to get them all. There's so many good options. You're going to get a couple wrong. You're going to get a couple right.
That's just the SuperCoach season.
That's just the way it is. But you're not going to fall too far behind over the opening couple of weeks. Is basically the main takeaway from that. So don't stress too much if you get it wrong. You got plenty of time to catch up. Broncos Roosters. We'll move on to them.
James
James Tedesco for the Roosters at fullback. I really like him. I think he's in for a big year. I haven't got him in my team just because I've got, I think, a couple ahead of him. But
he's an option.
If you want to start with him, I'm not going to talk you out of it. I can see him, and he's so low ownership. I think he's like 4% ownership or something.
I think the footy's going to do the talking
crazy
this year.
He's just, he's a great player. He has been for a number of years. Last year was not a great year.
But it even wasn't that bad. When you really break it down.
I think he averaged something like 70. So
it's a bit of disrespect, I think, to the old Teddy.
Billy Smith in the centres with Manu has been named. Is it? Yes. There was talk about him
missing out. He's their best option at centre, Billy Smith. He's better than the others, I'd say right now, at the centre.
Yeah.
That's position especially.
I really like Billy Smith. I'm a big fan of him.
He's got a lot of upside.
He does.
A lot of carries.
He ended last year really well, so I think he's a little bit expensive this year.
Well, he got injured. He got injured for a bit, didn't he? So he came back right.
He had a lot of injuries, and then the last 4 or 5 weeks, he's $550K. So he's a little bit expensive for me to start with.
Yeah, I thought he was a bit cheaper than that.
But I can see him having a great season.
Yep. I agree.
Suwali on the wing, or Suwalihi. I like him on the wing a lot more than centre.
He has a crack.
I think, what's he at?
He'd be pretty expensive, but...
Yeah. He's $605K.
Yeah.
I like him more than Billy Smith.
Yeah.
Just because he's on the wing. But
more points.
But again, when Dom Young comes back in I think he might be back next week or the week after. What happens to Suwali then? Does he get shifted back into the centres? Does he find his way out of the team?
I think
there's a chance.
I think Tupu's in a bit of strife if he doesn't have a good first couple of weeks, eh?
Yeah.
It sounds weird to say because he's been their most consistent for a long time.
Kiri, Walker. I like Walker.
Yep.
But there's Cleary and Hines that I prefer.
Yep.
But he's not a bad option if you want to avoid one of them. If you want to go something different, I don't hate it.
Yep.
Spencer Leniu. He's starting. I like it because I was kind of off the bench. I didn't see he was going to get a huge increase of minutes.
Yeah.
Now,
no Hargreaves.
I'll tell you now, he's found his way into my team.
Oh, he's in.
He's in.
He's a lock. There you go.
I'm a bit worried next week where Hargreaves comes back, whether he goes back onto the bench.
Yeah.
But whether starting him over Tyrell May is that a kind of sign on what Robinson wants to do? Does he want to play in bigger minutes this year?
Yeah, maybe.
Does he see him as like the leader of the attack of the forward pack?
He could have left the Panthers for that reason.
Yeah.
Maybe he wanted a bit more.
Yeah.
And the Panthers just said, look, mate, can't give it to you. We got Isaiah Yeo.
Yeah.
We got Fish. We got Leota.
Because when you look at it, Lindsay Collins would play big minutes, I would say.
He'll go hard too.
But then you've got Leniu, May, and
Jay.
Hargreaves, who are all kind of, they're all fighting for minutes.
They're going to be the interchangeables, you dare say.
I've got him just because I think he's only $300K. He's cheap. I'm not 100% sold on him.
Yeah, but he's there for the moment.
Yeah, because I had May there, but now May is on the bench. So I'm worried he gets less minutes than Leniu. If Lenu's going to get more minutes, I think he's going to... If he can get 40 points, I think he's going to get 40 minutes, 40 points. I think he's going to be around that 1 point a minute kind of player.
Yeah.
Which I'm happy enough with.
Yeah, plenty of upside.
For $300K, if he's going to get...
Well, he can get to...
If he's going to average 40, 45,
he'll go up in price by a substantial amount. Being at 300, he will. He'll get to that 450 maybe.
Yeah, exactly.
If he does a point
Whereas... May's already at 4.
He's already at 4, so
he might even be more. 400.
And don't get me wrong, he's great, but as you said, it depends how Robinson's going to play it.
Great play. I prefer if it was roles reverse. I'm a lot more keen on May. So if May was starting,
100%,
I would be all over May.
I think May's in for a big year.
Yeah, I think May's that big minute player. I see Leniu as more of an impact player.
Yeah,
but the way it's been named here suggests that maybe Robinson thinks the opposite. So So wait and see, I guess. You don't have to go early on either of them. Just wait and see when Jared comes back, whether that affects them. Because there's a lot of uncertainty. Same thing with the second row. You've got Wong and Tupanua as the starting second rowers.
I'm excited. Satili, as you said, it blows wind up my skirt, dude.
Yeah, I like him.
I'm interested at
He's
Satili
cheap as well. He is...
Because he was one of the best back rowers in the comp before he got hurt.
Yeah.
He was. So...
He's only 398k.
See, he's one that very much blows wind up my fucking skirt, dude.
It's just minutes. And it's whether he can get a spot. When you're looking at their bench, they've got Nat Butcher on their bench.
Yeah, I think Butcher's going to be used in the middle.
Yeah, could do.
This year.
But their reserves, they've got Crichton, Butcher. They've got all these kind of second rowers that haven't even made the team. So...
Yeah.
I'm worried about his job security. I'm worried about his minutes.
Do you think Crichton's left out of the side because of the looming rumours for the last season or so about the rugby switch?
I don't think so.
You think it's just...
I think it's just...
He just misses out?
He just misses out. I mean, he hasn't played much footy. Like, he's had that mental health thing.
Yeah. Because when he's on, he's on.
Yeah, that's it. Like, before... He kind of had that break. He was one of the best second rowers in the game.
Yeah, massively.
He came back towards the end of last year and didn't set the world on fire.
But he was good.
But he wasn't bad.
Yeah.
So it's just an interesting one. I haven't got any of the second rowers in my team, but all of them, like Wong,
Siwa could...
If he's playing 80 minutes on an edge, he's a great option. Same with Tupanua. I just don't know whether they do or not.
Yeah.
So I'm just kind of waiting at this moment. I might have a stab at one of them. If I was to go one of them, I'd probably go Tupanua because he's cheaper.
Yeah. And you know what he can do. Like we've seen what he can do.
And he's got that experience, so you kind of know what you're going to get from him.
Yeah, 100%.
So
I want to see those luscious locks back in the fucking fray.
Yeah. Let's go on to the Broncos. Reece Walsh, I don't like him at the start of the year.
He comes into it a bit.
I think that the first few weeks, there's so many other options at fullback that are just going to get you safe points every week with that upside. He's got upside, but he doesn't have that safe points. He can...
Yep.
And I just think the start of the season, the Broncos might be a little bit flat. Again, Vegas, smaller field. Is he going to have that space? He might have a little bit of a quieter round one game. He doesn't quite have that strength that the other fullbacks do to break through the line. He's more of that. He needs a bit of space.
Yeah.
And he can just kind of get through with speed. I don't know if he's going to have the...
I'm going to be interested to see how big the 10 metres is this Sunday.
Yeah.
Compared to Thursday night.
It's going to be funny. Might be closer to 12, I reckon.
I think it's going to be 12 metres to get a bit of pace in the game.
Yeah. So, look, if you've got him, he's capable of doing good things, but early on in the season, I think defences are always a lot better. I don't know if we're going to have that fatigue, and he just thrives off that fatigue. The tired forwards, he just runs laps around him.
And he's still quite young. He's not at that point where you know what you're going to get
He's had that one good year. Is he going to regress a little bit this year? Possibly, because he's quite a cocky kid. Like he might think it's just going to happen for him. He might not put in the same amount of hard yards as what he did to get to this point.
We all were cocky at that age, so you never know.
Look,
I think he still has a great year.
I think later on in the season,
but he builds.
Particularly if he doesn't get selected for Origin, he can be really valuable over that period. But just to start with, I wouldn't go him. But hey, you could do worse.
That's right.
Tony Staggs at centre.
Nah, I'm not. Nah, never again. No, I'm off it.
He can give you.
He can give you 160.
That's it.
And then he can give you 30 for the next 7 weeks.
Yeah.
I'm not touching him.
You had him last year?
I'm not touching him this year. I've had him for many years.
Yeah. He's just one of those players, you see him play and he looks like he just breaks tackles. But
he doesn't.
But he just doesn't get points.
I used to pick him over like Jesse Ramian, and then I'd be looking at the scores. I'm like, why do I do this? I know Jesse Raymond's going to give me 60 every week.
Yeah. And he's not cheap. He's 533K.
And he should be that price, but he sometimes does not play up to that level.
Yeah. No, he's very, very much a roller coaster ride with him. I much prefer.
I'm off that ride.
Yeah.
I'm off.
I much prefer the consistency in players.
Yeah.
Cobbo,
I'm staying away.
He's into the centres. I'm
doesn't
surprised by that.
I'm not excited by any of the Broncos back line. Like when it comes to SuperCoach.
Yeah.
In real life, awesome players.
I'm very surprised with him at centre. I wouldn't have liked him anyway at wing, but I think he's even less appealing, Cobbo, at centre.
Yeah, now. Yeah.
I reckon that's just because he can't catch.
Possibly. Could be a weakness.
Mariner.
Big body.
He's huge.
Big body.
He's a big winner.
Winger. Hey, and he's a winner too. He's playing
but
NRL.
Somehow he's 569,000. I didn't think he played much last year.
No, he played a fair bit towards the end.
He played 4 games and averaged 70.
What the fuck? 70?
Yeah. So
Jesus.
He's a risk. If you want to go him, there's potential there. Yeah, he scored 132 against Parramatta.
Holy fuck.
So, yeah, I wouldn't go him just because of his price.
Sample size
He's got the talent, I suppose. He's got the body shape and the SuperCoach ability.
Depends how long he can hold Oates out for, I guess.
Yeah, that's it. There's question marks on his spot. So,
yeah, I'm staying away.
Yeah. Ezra Mam, we talked about him last week. In a lot of teams,
recency bias. I still think
steer very well clear of him
at the moment. I just want to see how he plays to start the year.
He just doesn't have the upside. Like, I think he might have scored a couple of 90s in his career. That's it. He doesn't have that big score in him. He's going to get you a bunch of 40s. He's not the dominant playmaker. He doesn't goal kick.
Yeah.
He doesn't have great base. He's not getting you 30 tackles a game. There's a lot I don't like about him. Great NRL player, but for SuperCoach, plenty of better options.
It's crazy. He has a very similar play style to, and not skill level, play style to Cleary.
Yeah.
He'll run the ball a lot. He'll get in the tackles, but it's just that level above.
Yeah.
Can he get to that next step?
Yeah.
To be that?
Payne Haas, you know what he's going to do. He's going to get you heaps of tackles, heaps of running meters. He's going to get you 70 points all year, but he's 700K. So, Pia Cora, I have got him in my team.
Yeah, he excites me a bit.
He's very good.
Young, is that headgear? He wears a headgear, right? Just a rip and a tear.
Yes, I believe he does.
A lot of carries, a lot of work.
Yeah.
He gets through a lot of work.
He runs a good line too.
Yeah.
Big body, tall.
Yeah, goes hard too.
He's going to score some tries. He's got that attacking upside.
Yeah.
Maybe doesn't quite have the best base.
Yeah.
He might punch you out a couple of 35, 40s, but he's got the attacking and I quite like him.
Yeah.
Jordan Ricky as well. They're quite similar players, I feel.
Very similar.
I think Ricky's a little bit more expensive though.
Because Ricky's a lot more consistent.
Oh, not overly, 490K. So I could see he's not bad.
Ricky's keeping his spot all year.
Yeah.
You know, he's not losing that spot at all. Carrigan
at 13, he's going to, again, similar to Haas, he's just going to punch out big numbers, play big minutes. So,
yep.
Xavier Willison on the bench.
Yep, big boy.
I like him. He's cheap. I think he's 270K. The problem with him, 260K. Problem with him is they've got a lot of big minute forwards.
Yep.
They've obviously lost Flegler, but Payne Haas, he's going to play 60 minutes.
60,
Corey Jensen,
65, yeah.
Maybe he comes on and plays.
I think him and Jensen will be the interchangeables.
And they've got forwards on their bench. They've got Fletcher Baker, Kobe Hetherington, who can all play front row if they had to.
Yeah. Risky.
I haven't got him in my team at the moment. That could change. I can see a world where I get him. I don't think he's going to be outstanding. He's not going to get you 50 points. But if he plays 20 minutes, he might get 25, 30 points, and it might be enough to make $100,000 possibly.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see that.
So, yeah. One to keep your eye on. So, yeah, that's the teams for Vegas.
Vegas, beautiful.
So what I'll do, I'll go through how I've got my team set up at the moment. I've made a couple of changes since last time.
And after you do that, I want to ask you a question.
What is it?
Well, I think you should name your team first, and then because then it will correlate with the question.
Okay. So at hooker, I've got Brandon Hands. Again, it's just dependent on team lists. Whether he gets the spot, if he can get the spot and there's no Lussick on the bench and he's guaranteed 80 minutes, then that's great.
He'll make money.
And then Coruscant on the bench. Obviously, they've got the bye round 1, so that's why he's there. But I'm
surprised by the forward.
If Hands doesn't get named, or he does get named with Lussick on the bench, I don't really know what I'm going to do there. Because it's a lot of money to go up to someone else, so I might have to make some few changes. So hopefully Brad Arthur looks after me. In the forward pack, gone quite cheap. I've gone one gun front rower in Tarpany.
Yep.
Again, saving 100k from Haas, but he's still going to get you reliable points.
Yep.
He's one that I'm looking at maybe downgrading to someone a little bit cheaper, maybe a Cotter.
Yeah.
Just to free up a bit more money to make moves elsewhere. But at the moment, it's Tarpany, and I've gone Lenu for now.
For now.
I don't overly like it. I'd like to have someone a little bit more reliable there, just because, again, we don't know what Lenu's minutes are going to be. But just seeing the team lists, I've got him in for now. That was May, now it's Lenu. I've kind of just swapped them out. And then Sam Hughes, I think he's going to be in for Canterbury, playing probably off the bench.
Yeah, to start.
But he's going to play bigger minutes, I think, just because they have a real lack of forwards.
And he looked good. He looked very good.
He looks very good. And then I've got Fafita from the Dragons for now. He might get a bench spot. He's really cheap. He's dual position, so that's why I've got him for now. Yeah. Again, he could change to maybe Willison if I can free up a little bit more money.
Yeah.
In the second row, I've kind of gone a bit more here, just because, again, there's so many good mid-range options. You can't get them all, but I've tried to get the best ones. I've gone Lane.
He was your lock, mate.
I've been thinking about him a lot. As a Paris supporter,
I'm going to say, where's this going?
He's in my dreams, Sean Lane. No, but from what you said about his minutes,
it scares me a touch.
With Madison on the bench, he didn't play in the trial, and Lane still got subbed off. Again, I don't want to read too much into it because it's just a trial. A lot of players get subbed off early.
I'm scared of Brad Arthur's.
He was one of the players that played both trials. A lot of the team got rested for the first week. He played, so maybe that is why he got taken off early. Brad Arthur scares me. He does strange things with his forwards and his minutes.
Me, dude.
He should be playing 80.
Should, like 100%.
And I'm going to keep him, I think, because if he does play 80, he's going to score big points. And, if he doesn't, then I'll have to sell him, I think.
Yeah.
But worst case is he still... I still don't see him losing money because I see him at least playing 60 minutes. The only situation would be where if he starts on the bench and they have Madison starting.
I can see that.
Yeah, so he's there for now, but I'm not as keen on him as what I was probably last week, just after seeing that trial. But we'll wait and see. Piakora, again, we spoke about him. He's got that attack. He's 420k, so pretty cheap. Current I've got for now. Again, that could change depending on team list. If he's playing lock, I'm on him. If he's not, if he's on the bench, then I might change that to Salmon.
Yeah.
We'll just wait and see. Lukey, you've talked me into him.
Dude, I want him.
I really like him, actually. The more I think about it...
Did you see? Pro?
Yeah. The more I think about it, the more I really like the pick. I think he's...
I think Leilua may have got asked to leave, man. Yeah. I think they may have said, if you get a contract, we're happy for you to go.
Him and Nanai on the edges.
Fucking hell. They look good.
I like
even
Lukey.
Defensively.
And he's not high ownership either.
Which shocks me. It shocks me.
He is... I think he was less than 10% last time I was looking at it.
So that's crazy.
I don't know. I assume it's gone up a little bit.
He's my one lock.
Yeah.
Like, if I'm putting he's my one lock still.
And Bo Firma is the other one. I think big things for him as well. I'm all over him.
Bounce back here. Yeah. No injuries. Yeah. He's very good player. Good base. Very good base.
Then Kane Bradley from the Storm. I don't know if he gets a spot. He started second row in their trial. His dual position.
Who's normally their backs?
Sean Blaw.
Eisenhuth's gone.
Yeah, Sean Blaw they've got.
And the bloke from the Warriors, Katoa.
Yeah.
That used to play for the Warriors.
So maybe he's impressed Craig Bellamy and he gets a spot.
Craig Bellamy, dude.
So I feel like he wouldn't start him in a trial unless it was a genuine chance. Because
could be
like the rest of the team they named were pretty much there close to full strength, not entirely, but
that could actually be a very good pickup, Will.
So,
you're right.
If he
He's
gets
not like
named,
Arthur. He normally picks early to see what they're going to do.
If he gets named, jump on him. He's a great option at that price.
I might do that.
Cleary and Hines, they're still my halves. That's not going to change, I don't think.
Yeah, no way.
Dylan Brown at 5.
If you want to win, you need Cleary and Hines. I think that's the board.
Yeah. I see a lot of people trying to, be sneaky and try and just keep one and get rid of the. Just get them both.
They're going to get fucking bog points every week.
Yeah, find a way, get them both. They're not going to let you down. They haven't for the last, especially Cleary, just consistently over the last 5 years, and then Hines probably over the last 2 or 3 years.
If Cleary doesn't get injured. If Cleary doesn't get injured, he probably wins the most points every year.
Yeah. Dylan Brown, 5'8". Again, that's not going to change. Big things for Dylan Brown, I reckon, this year. KO Weeks, I've got him. He looks like he's going to get the 5'8" spot.
Officially 4 days till kickoff.
Officially 4 days. It's just ticked over.
There you go. Breaking news.
Get the confetti. KO Weeks, I think he's going to start. If he doesn't, obviously don't pick him. Yep. If he's starting 5'8", then
too many Raiders, too many positions. I'm scared.
Yeah.
The Raiders scare me.
Ethan Strange, he's the other one. I've got him in the centres.
Suspended. Might be getting suspended.
No, he got off. It's just a fine.
Oh, beautiful. He's in.
So, Zach Lomax, I've still got. I won't
You've talked me into Lomax.
I'm not going to have him unless he's playing fullback, though.
Yeah, that's it. I'm on the same wavelength as you.
He's just there. I feel like Shane Flanagan's not going to play him fullback. So we'll have to look elsewhere if that's the case. Maybe I can free up some money there and maybe get a little bit more money into my front row.
Yeah, yep.
But
good idea.
That's at the moment he's in. And then I've gone Taylor May from
he impressed me.
Panthers. I wasn't that keen on him, but then watching the trial,
he had a crack.
He
constantly
he was good, but he didn't score any tries. Didn't really get any major attacking stats.
Yeah, the Panthers
I think he got a line break, but the defense was really good from Wigan.
Panthers attack wasn't great,
but he's still got 55 points. I think
exactly.
So
right.
that's his
base.
If that's his base, then
that's awesome
for 450k. Outstanding. I didn't think he was going to have that much base.
Yeah. And so Panthers attack will be back. They'll be back.
Yeah.
Give him 2 weeks.
I didn't think he'd make those runs that he did, out of his own in goals. That normally it's the wingers, not normally the centres do those. So he's still getting those meters and those run meters and
he just wants the ball away. He's in my team.
I've got Sherry at the moment. Again, a bit of a wait and see whether he gets named.
Tricky.
They've got a couple of options. Like Crichton's going to get one centre spot.
Yeah.
The other one, is it him? Is it going to be Taff? Is it going to be...
he needs to be the fullback, man.
What's his name? The one that used to play for Sharks? Tracy.
Does
he get a centre spot?
I don't know if he's back yet.
So there's a lot of options there. If Sherry is starting centre...
I think he did enough until at least Carraz gets back. Yeah. Is Carraz back? I think he's still...
I think he might be
2 weeks
or two away, yeah. And then Ben Travojevic. I wasn't keen on him at all last week. Now I think he's just about the best cheapie of the year.
Yeah. That's
starting fair. Second row, you've got to have him in the team. On the bench, I've got Ethan Strange, as I said, Eero and Chevy Stewart. Again, it's just a wait and see who gets named.
What a name, bro! That's one of the great rugby league names.
It's just a wait. It's a great name, isn't
Chevy it? Stewart.
It's a great.
Sounds
name.
like a car dude. Just picked up my Chevy Stewart today.
But yeah, they're just they're just there for the moment. They will both drop out. Probably all of them drop out when they don't get named.
Yeah. The Raiders one's scary.
But there's no point changing your team 100 times. No. Just going to wait and see. Wait for team lists and then
have your 5 or 6 guys you set on your bench.
Yeah.
And then
fullbacks haven't changed either. Tom Trbojevic, Pappenhausen. I had a team where I traded Pappenhausen for Ponga, but then
scares me. Ponga scares me.
I just didn't want. I had to go cheaper elsewhere, and I didn't really like that.
Yeah, that's fair.
I went really cheap in the front row. I could still do it, but yeah, for now, Pappenhausen. I still like. He's going to make, potentially 300k.
Pappenhausen's base is going to be awesome every game too. He's
got the goal kick, if he keeps the goal kicking, I don't think he goal kicked in the trials, which is a little bit concerning. But if he's goal kicking, then it's
either him or
he's a great option. Meany.
Yeah, that'd be the only two I'd assume.
Yeah. So that's my team. I've got 40k left in the bank.
Fuck, that's good.
So still a little bit of wriggle worm if we need it. And I've got a couple of other options that I've just been looking at. I've got a watch list. So Jamin Salmon, obviously, if he gets the starting lock spot, he's a decent at 317k. He's almost a must-have, I think.
Yeah.
Kepi, we talked about 380k. Again, just minutes. Tupanua, 390k. Again, job security minutes. Wong, the same thing. He's a little bit more expensive.
I'm surprised by this next one.
Seyfarth, 320k. He got named starting lock in the last trial. Again, you're not going to know until with the Tigers because they've got the bye. So that makes it difficult. I probably won't start with him just because I don't want to start with him and then he get named off the bench. And then he's kind of useless. Eisenhouse, again, got named, I think, at lock. Either lock or starting second row.
He was in the second row.
For the Dragons at 350k isn't the worst option. And then that's what I've got at the moment. So
okay.
Yeah.
Very good.
What was your question you had before?
The question was, after watching any of the trials or seeing stats, did you remove anyone? Add anyone based off what you saw? Did something annoy you?
Not over the trials. I tried not to look too much. Oh, Lukey, actually. Lukey was...
One person upset me. Taff.
I didn't even consider
Did you see the highlights?
No.
He was horrible.
Yeah.
And I don't think...
Well, he's only available at fullback anyway, so...
The errors he had...
I wouldn't have him to start with in the first place.
Not great at all. Yeah. Uncontested bombs, dropping.
Well, he's never been great anyway.
So I just think Crichton is the best option. I just don't know what too much...
The interesting one with Crichton, he is cheap-ish. Just... How do you spell his name? There we are. He's not cheap. He's expensive is what I meant to say. He's 650k. Yeah. So you're paying a lot for him.
But if he goes to fullback, I don't know.
If he's playing fullback and he's going to get the goal kicking.
Yeah, he's.
So that's going to add... Look, value. They're not going to score a crazy amount of tries, but he might get an extra 8 points a game than what he's priced at. He might have to do a lot more work than what he would because he's kind of all the Bulldogs have. Yeah. So his work rate might actually improve a lot. I can see merit in it. He's just a little bit too expensive for me. But if Lomax doesn't start, I can see a world where I kind of switch Lomax to Crichton. I don't hate the pick.
I'm going to keep an eye on that Melbourne bloke. I like
Bradley.
I like what you spun. Yeah. I like the yarn you spun for him. He
looked decent too.
I might have to watch like a mini or a bite, whatever they call it, a KO bite.
Yeah,
25 minutes just to see. All right, so I like your team.
That's what we've got. Have you got anything to add?
Not really.
No,
I've got some similar key spots. I've got some differences. I'm not set like you yet. Yeah. Speaking of friend of the show, Marco, he loves the show. He said thank you. He loves your insight. So he'll be definitely listening. So be very careful.
We'll give a bit more of an overview next week. It's a bit hard this week because we only got the two games on.
Yeah.
So hopefully, yeah.
Oh, also our Rough Rigs SuperCoach is open.
Yes,
league codes
yes,
open.
the leagues, the spots are filling up. So we've got
8 spots left in a 20-man woman league.
Yeah,
because there is a lady in there, so I can't just say man league. You know.
So I think we've gone at the moment as just a league because.
Should we run through the team names as a bit of a bit of your one? I think takes the cake so far.
You can read them out.
So I've got the other team.
Yeah.
We've got Jova, just my mate's name. We got Hansy for Dill Browns.
Good name, that one.
That's fucking wild. I can't believe that still got in. We've got him again. We've got I Don't Care This Year. The Odd Bunch. Stinky Mickey. The Butchers. Shavapi FC. Gallon's Grubs. The One. And Josh's Pack. So I've got 8 spots left.
Yeah,
so
8 spots left. Fill them up. Once they're filled, they're filled.
Do you want to read out that league code for the listeners?
The league code. I'll have it up on screen as well. It is 842132.
So jump in.
Yeah.
I think what we're going to do, winner gets a jersey.
A jersey.
I don't think money's fair because not everyone wants to play for not everyone wants to chip in for money. So
yeah. I
think you and I, whoever wins, we'll go halves.
Yeah.
In a 2023 jersey.
Yep.
You're not ripping us off with a 1962 10 grand fucking last time the Eels won a fucking final jersey. You'll be getting a 2023-2024 jersey.
I like it.
All right, man.
All right. Send any questions for next week.
Yeah, send us some questions.
Any questions about anything to do with SuperCoach? Anything at all, really.
You got the man. You got the man here.
Send it through and we'll answer them in the next week. So I think this week, and just remember your teams, it's a rolling lockout. So after this week, your players that have played, so your Roosters, your Broncos, your Manly and Rabbitohs players, once they have played, they're locked. You can't move them.
Yeah.
But everyone else, you can change, you can trade right up until they play. So you're not going to use your trades. For those players.
Beautiful.
So just be careful though where you do have players playing this week. Make sure if you want to play them that they're in your team.
Yeah, get them in.
Because you can't change them and you can't swap them for someone that hasn't played because they're locked in that position. Also your captaincy, your vice captaincy. Vice captain, I like to do on an early game. And then captain later in the round. Reason for that is if your vice captain goes absolutely massive, you can actually trade out or swap your captain off whoever it is, put it on a player that doesn't play, and you get that vice captain score. It does hurt you a little bit because you lose the points and you get what's called an auto emergency, which is your lowest scoring player. So you'll have to lose the player that you take out of your team. So look, I prefer to do it that way. A lot of people just I captain who I think is going to
have a good week.
Matchups. Sometimes you can go an earlier game as a captain, as just straight captain on them, for a little bit of a pod play because a lot of people wait later in the week to captain. If you can get in early, and as I said, you lose a lot of points, so it's not an easy thing to do. That looping
it's
thing,
risky. It
is
very
risky. So
sometimes just setting, if you're not look, let's talk from my point of view. I'm not going to do that.
Yeah,
because fuck that.
Yeah.
So don't be ashamed if you're that person because there's 2 types of SuperCoach people, and we're sitting on the couch right now.
Yeah.
The vet and the fucking idiot. So do it how you want.
Yeah. Anyway, they're the teams for this week. That's my team at the moment. We'll get another one for next week after next week's team list.
Yep. Sweet.
Yeah. Take care.